Hi everyone, welcome to EBR 3503, stands for the primary school teacher. I'm gonna be with you. I'm Safia Abbas. My ID number is H00349814. I hope you enjoy. Before we start anything, we need to know that as a teacher, we need to create a lesson plan template because the lesson plan is a step-by-step guide that provides a structure for basic learning. Before planning a lesson, it's necessary to classify learning outcomes for the class. It's important because it helps the teacher maintain a standard teaching style and does not let the class deviate from the subject. I create this lesson template to help any science teacher. I choose the subject as dissolving and for grade 7. As a teacher, we have to have a personal goals, lesson focus, lesson outcomes. We need to link to the student prior knowledge. We need to integrate the 21st century skill. We need to introduce a new vocabulary as well as know what is the possible problems for learner and how to find a solution for it. On the other hand, we need to know how we're gonna introduce the concept or the topic. What is the main activity? How can I differentiate the activity according to their levels and the learning style? And then we need to know how can I conclude the lesson and how can I assess their level of learning. This lesson I created by myself. I'm gonna show you how can I apply it in real life. As it said in the task description, it's a full scientific investigation. So what is the big idea? So I create this problem statement which is said, does temperature affect dissolving? How and why? Let's go deeper. My experiment focused on adding energy or heating increase molecular motion. Let's imagine it's a new lesson. I always prefer from the teacher to read the objective loudly to the student so they know what they are going to learn today, as well as they're gonna repeat after the teacher. The first learning outcome is design an experiment to see whether the temperature of a solvent affects the speed at which a solute dissolves. The second learning outcome is explain on the molecular level why increasing temperature increases the rate of dissolving. This experiment is guided inquiry that emphasizes the student's role in the learning process rather than the teacher telling students what they need to know. In guided inquiry lesson, students are encouraged to explore the material, ask questions, share ideas, and more. As we go through our lesson, we will see the 5 E's as well as science process skills, which is there are 6 of them, and the scientific method and how can we apply it in our lesson. The first part of the lesson is engage student. We have to capture the kids' interest and curiosity and have them to focus on the task. We can find out their prior knowledge by guiding questions like what happened to the sugar when it's mixed with water and what is the difference between mixing and dissolving. However, there is an essential question. It's not direct. They need to know more about the topic so they can answer, like why does sugar dissolves in water and what happens when something dissolves. In this experiment, I need for M&M's candy thermometer, I need hot water, cold water, and room temperature water, and a clear plate. Beautiful thing that I'm gonna use in my experiment is M&M's candy. So the student can ask us, after they know the experiment materials, what can we investigate about the M&M's and what we think or how and why do you think that coating will dissolve in water? One of the scientific method elements is research about topic. So after posing a question, the students are responsible to learn about that topic. We are in the 21st century. The technology are surrounding us, so they can open a YouTube and start watching a video to know more about dissolving. Now we are moving to state hypothesis, measuring, predicting, observing, communicating, collecting data, knowing dependent, independent, and control variable. All of this happening in exploration phase. After having a question and research about topic, we are moving for the most important point, which is a state hypothesis. In this case, my predicting is if we increase the water temperature, then the rate at which sugar dissolves is increased. At the same time, we have to follow a certain procedure to test the experiment. So the first step is having a hot water is approximately 45 Celsius and a room temperature and 25 Celsius. Last but not least, a cold water and a 10 Celsius. After that, place the same colored M&Ms in the center of each cup at the same time and observe for about 1 minute. In a variable section, I have a control variable which is keep the same and my experiment is the room temperature water. The independent variable is increasing the water temperature to about 50 degrees Celsius. The dependent variable is what I observe as how long it takes for the sugar to dissolve. Now we are expecting to find the result. We can collect data and communicating the answer. So we find that more color and sugar dissolves from the M&Ms in a hot water and less in the room temperature and a cold water. This means there is more chocolate visible on M&Ms in the hot water than the room temperature and cold water. The color and sugar in the room temperature water dissolve somewhere between the cold and hot water but are more similar to the cold than the hot. As a collecting data, I draw a table that shows the effect of temperature and dissolving. So in a hot water, we need 5 seconds to dissolve. And in tap water, which is a room temperature, we need 10 seconds only. While in M&Ms, which in ice water or cold water, we need like approximately 18 seconds. In the third phase, which is explain, I'm going to ask them what they experience, and they have to let me know what they observed during their engagement and exploration phases. On this part, we can discuss why the water was able to dissolve the coating of the M&Ms by showing them animation. They can understand how the largest amount is called solvent, what is solid, and how they dissolve in each other. Another way, we can use their textbook. From their textbook, we can understand many things. We can show them that adding thermal energy can help the particles in the solid move faster. The time we increase temperature, the time the particles move faster. Now we are moving to another phase, extend. Elaborate. That means transfer their understanding of a new science concept and skills to new context. In this place, we're gonna have students test what happens when 2 or more M&Ms are on the plate at the same time. After showing the experiment for the second time, we can explain that the water molecule interacted with sugar and coloring molecules in the color coating of the M&Ms and caused the coating to dissolve in the water. When we have 3 or more M&Ms in one plate, it took more time to dissolve. We are going to zoom in. The first plate, which is the brown M&Ms, we can see the hot water, and the second plate we can see the green M&Ms in a room temperature. The last one is red M&Ms in a cold water. In conclusion, we can say that in my experiment, my hypothesis was accepted. Because of this, sugar dissolves into hot water faster than the room temperature in a cold water. To communicate the result, we can prepare it to present to an audience and accept questions from them. We can see there is a lines in a plate, and the lines show the molecules' way to move. Last but not least, in the evaluation section, we're going to obtain evidence of understanding in relation to the outcome of the experience. We can give them a worksheet and ask them to find the answer. Through that, we can use it as a formative assessment. We can know if we need to repeat the concept or go forward. STEM. Inquiry-based learning is an effective classroom provide a positive culture that allows students to have many skills. As you see in my experiment, I contact all of this section like science with technology and math. This will have a benefit like inspire students to think, innovate, prototype, and research. They can give them skills like problem solving, collaborating, creating, and test idea and build with their hands. In the end, I would like to say thank you for watching my video, and I hope you keep going and watch more video, experiment, and explore new concept because science is our life.